I was about to say, I'm glad they didn't blow a 4-1 lead in a next-gen game. Yeah, but they did at least find a way to terrify the next generation. That's right, no lead is ever safe. It's never safe. Is that pessimism or a life skill? We'll never know. Let's go! Give me what I want! Kick down the door! Drew, you are not doing this! Not nice! There's a giant hand! You hear yourself? I made like 2,000 of these. I'd like to have fun. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Victory puppies! A candy cane for a candy canine. Christmas. It's that magical time of year where you get together with people who broke your nose, and they just sit on the set. They just sit right where you're gonna be there a while. That was a big treat. He's still there. Alright, maybe I'll go get a coffee or something, I guess. You knew they weren't gonna lose to the Flyers in the game that Mitch built. Leafs win! 4-3 over the Philadelphia Flyers. Mitch Marner with yet another 5-point performance. Which is, of course, a lie. He only had 2. But you believed me because it's the next generation game. Brendan, Kyle, I don't think you watch every one of these, but I know you dabble. You packed Scotiabank Arena with a bunch of school children during the playoffs, and I promise you that guy will win the Conn Smythe. When that guy has belief, he can't be stopped. And he's got points in 14 consecutive home games. How's that for belief? Real quick, think you know which way it's gonna go? Make your bet at Sports Interaction. When the puck drops, Sports Interaction has you covered pre-game, live betting on all major sports, and prop bets. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Hockey is a very what have you done for me lately sport, and we know that the Leafs had an amazing 4, 5, 6 weeks there. Then they lose 2 games on the road to the Rangers and Caps, and especially in the Caps game, they didn't look very good. So I was wondering how they were going to look in the final 2 games before Christmas break. Are they going to end strong, or are they just going to try to get there? Now, there were times in this game where it looked like they and the Flyers were just trying to get there. They were both definitely playing like 2 teams who were terrified that their flight out of Toronto was going to get canceled. Odds are you're not watching this video before a flight because that flight is probably canceled. Because Snowmageddon is coming. But when the Leafs looked good, they looked good. They looked dominant, and they outshoot the Flyers 34-19 in this one. Why is that relevant? Because that's the second straight game that the Leafs have held their opponent to fewer than 20 shots. They held the Lightning to 19 and the Flyers to 19. They held the Lightning and Flyers to 38 shots combined, which is wild because in those 2 games, the amount of shots the Leafs had was 74! And yet they still barely won because reasons. Let's talk about it. First period, once again, the Leafs' most dominant period of the game. They outshot the Flyers 11-3, so naturally, the Flyers outscored the Leafs 1-0. Tony DeAngelo with a blast through a crowd on the power play, and the Leafs are wearing a bunch of black jerseys. I suppose you forgive Samsonov for that one. It's 1-0 Flyers after 1. And to be a fly on the wall during the next generation game, just listening to parents talk to their children during the intermission. But the Leafs look like the better team. That doesn't matter. And the Leafs continue in the second period. They outshoot the Flyers 15-5 in that frame. And again, they're definitely playing better. Why aren't they winning? I thought I told you, because it doesn't matter. But isn't it better to have way more shots and chances than the other team? Yeah. So they should be winning then. Oh, they should be. A lot of things should be. Like these tickets should have been a quarter of the price. What? Nothing. Merry Christmas. Then late in the period, the Leafs get a power play, and they don't even score on the power play. So now there's barely over 3 minutes to go in the second. The Leafs don't even score on the power play, and they're losing to the... Oh, they scored. Mitch Marner throws it on, and Callie Yarncroke, they said got a piece of it. I've watched that 1,000 times. I'm not totally sure. It definitely hits a stick, and I'm like 73% sure it was Yarncroke's. Doesn't matter. There's no I in Team Marner or Yarncroke. The Leafs tie the game. And then they get another power play. And you know why? It's because the refs love the Leafs. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But it couldn't have had anything to do with the fact that the Leafs were caving the Flyers in! Actually caving them in. Leafs head to the power play. Once again, Mitch Marner throws it on, and I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm pretty happy that the Leafs scored here on account of I cheered for them. Carter Hart should have had this. Like, yes, this is after the power play, but the Flyers really don't get any defensive benefit from it because their player has to scamper out of the box. But, like, the way the Leafs power play is designed is you gotta have, like, at least one or two bodies in front, like, setting the screen. But the Leafs weren't really in position for that. Like, Hart should have been able to see this. And maybe he could see it, but he still only got a part of it, and the Leafs take the lead right before intermission, which I'm sure John Tortorella loved. Oh, to be a fly in the wall at that intermission. All right, everyone, I know Rasmus Ristolainen makes over $5 million this season, and he doesn't have a single point in 26 games, but this is all Kevin Hayes' fault. I could do the accent, it would make it better. So now the Leafs have the little bit of swagger. They got the first one, they got the second one. Let's start the third off right. This is what I wanted to see at the beginning of the third period. This is what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see them just outshoot the Flyers. I wanted to see them dominate the Flyers. In the first shift of the third period, it's the Leafs playing with their food. They picked their teeth with the Flyers. Nylander and Matthews behind the net, and they're passing it back and forth. Matthews had a nice little chip to Nylander on this one. Even though he didn't have like an overpowering dominant game, he had several subtly wild plays in this one. He's so talented. I love watching him play. Nylander gets it to Matthews, and the Flyers did what all bad teams do when Austin Matthews is on the ice. The good teams play the Leafs with poise, and they make it difficult for the star players to do star player things. The Flyers puck watch and buckle at the knees. And I think Matthews might have known that was going to happen, and I think Michael Bunting might have also known that was going to happen because look at these two, prepared for just such a scenario. Michael Bunting, just alone in front, that's a tap in. Not only do three Flyers in front completely panic, Carter Hart also, like, again, way out of position, and it's 3-1 Leafs 33 seconds into the third. And then William Nylander with a nice forehand backhand to make it 4-1 with his 20th of the season. How did he make that happen? Because Carter Hart couldn't see the move that Nylander made because his defenseman was setting an amazing screen right in front of him, and I'm sure he'll see the replay later. This team is not very good, and the Leafs are up 4-1. And it's the next generation game, and everyone's happy. The Leafs are winning, high five, and we're all wearing cool jerseys. Marner's got the Lego logo when he scores. Look at the Lego logo. It's kind of, is it Lego? It's a cartoon anyway. That looks like Lego to me. Is that supposed to be Lego? Is it Fortnite? Is it, I'm hip. I'm one of the cool kids. A lot of moms and dads at the game like, high five, this is a lot of fun. When am I gonna, I gotta catch the GO train before the, I don't mind the snow. I don't like the freezing rain. 8 minutes left. Morgan Frost, son of Andy, Psychedelic Sundays, breaks through the Leafs D, and he scores in all alone on Ilya Samsonov. It's 4-2, but he doesn't even really celebrate, and the Flyers don't even really celebrate because there's no reason to celebrate because the Flyers are going to lose. Then less than 90 seconds later, yes, the Flyers enter the Leaf zone. Yes, Joel Farabee makes a good move on Mark Giordano. He gets himself into space with the puck. That's good. And then he just shoots, and it beats the goalie. Oof, Maron, Ilya. I don't think there is a single player on this Leafs team besides the guys that are injured and need to recover a little bit who needs this break more than Ilya Samsonov. This was the first game that the Leafs won all season long, by the way. It's Christmas. First game the Leafs have won all season long where Samsonov gave up more than 2 goals. So that's cool. At least we know they can do that. But after a truly stellar start, like a banger start, Samsonov has had a rough last couple games. It's not the numbers. I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm worried about the quality of the goals going in and when they're going in. The first 2 goals, like even though the Leafs were grossly outshooting the Flyers when Samsonov allowed the first goal and even the second one, you probably shouldn't allow breakaways on your goalie. And like, I don't know, don't take penalties and that sort of thing. This one, even though it's Giordano getting beat, you need a save. You need every shot on goal is a mistake of some sort. You need a save there. It's not great. What's even more not great is, oh my goodness, they're not gonna blow this, are they? Anxious parents in the seat. I said I gotta catch the train! The flash freeze! They said there's gonna be a flash freeze! I googled what that meant and I'm scared! And the Flyers are buzzing, and why are the Flyers buzzing? It's the Flyers! Just take it from them and don't let them buzz. Ah! You wanna know why I screamed? Do you wanna know why I screamed? Do you wanna know why all of Leafs Nation screamed at the exact same moment? This, from Joel Farabee, this wide open opportunity, this holly jolly Christmas of an opportunity, did not go in! This term is way too overused. This is a Christmas miracle. How? You could fly a sleigh and 8 reindeer into that thing, and he missed it! And the reason he missed it is Frank J. Selke himself, Austin Matthews, pokes just enough of the stick that Farabee screws it up and spins around and slams the stick because he's grumpy. And then when 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the game and the extra attacker on the ice, Liljegren takes a penalty and now I'm grumpy! Except 24 seconds later, Joel Farabee takes a penalty on TJ Brodie, and I'm very happy because he's grumpy. The Leafs close out the game and we all have a Merry Christmas, wipe that brow, 4-3. Now let's get to questions. I wonder what everyone wants to know. The flop at the end to stop the Flyers' power play at the end. Have you ever seen better acting? Farabee's elbow never touched him. First of all, yes, Good Will Hunting, 1997. It's quite the film. Robin Williams. It won many Academy Awards. Second of all, Flyers fans watching this video, yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. And Leaf fans, I wouldn't be shocked at all if TJ Brodie got fined for that. Maybe there's an angle out there that shows Brodie getting hit in the face that I haven't seen. Watching that live, I thought, oh, I don't think he actually touched him. Watching the replay, I'm like, he didn't touch him. He didn't touch him at all. The official call was roughing. I don't know where you got that. Maybe I missed it. Flyers fans were upset about the perceived elbow, the head going back of Brodie. I gotta be honest, Leafs, they benefit from that one. They were lucky. I like this one in the spirit of Christmas. Is it time to apologize to Justin Holl? Honestly, without Muzzin, he's been very solid on the blue line. Let's be honest. There were a number of players who struggled mightily out of the gate. The Leafs as a team, as a collective unit, could not complete a pass in the first dozen games or so. And so many of the Leafs' woes, so many of the Leafs' mistakes, so many teams on a nightly basis would attack Justin Holl on purpose because everything he did was wrong. Everything he did went wrong. And now he's still got barely any points. He's got an assist in this game. He has 3 assists on the year. And we don't complain about the guy. We don't talk about the guy because he is what everyone who has ever praised him says he is. He's just sort of a steady, decent skating, intelligent defenseman who defends. Now you could argue that he's won the lottery by going from Jake Muzzin to Mark Giordano. That's pretty good. But the Leafs have gone through so many guys this season. Jordy Ben was in this one. I didn't get home until right before puck drop. I had no idea he was even playing in this game. And he struggled with Liljegren, at least compared to Sandin, but that's not a shock. It's first came back from injury. They're not familiar. But if Justin Holl continued the way he did at the beginning of the season, Leafs could have replaced him. They could have made a trade. They could have got someone off waivers. They could have used Mac Hollowell. I don't know. There are several players that have to be in the most improved player conversation, at least from October to now. Bunting, I think you could throw in there. He had a bit of a rough start to the season, and now he cannot stop scoring. That's up front, though. Man, on the back end, Justin Holl, heroic stuff. Got your shovel ready? No. See, the storm that hasn't begun yet, it's not necessarily a shovel storm. I've shoveled the driveway. I've shoveled the driveway lots of times, and I got a toddler with a toddler shovel. I'm going to make him do all the work. It's not the snow you got to be worried about with this one. It's that it's going to piss rain for hours and hours and hours at about 4 degrees Celsius like that. And then over the span of 1 or 2 hours, it's going to go from 4 or 5 degrees to -5 degrees. And it's just going to freeze bone solid. Then it's going to be Armageddon winds. Then it's going to be snow on top of that. So if you're walking along for whatever reason and you just see a fresh, smooth patch of snow on the sidewalk, do not step on it. You're about to yard sale. Flash freeze. It's terrifying. I don't like it. Should we be concerned with the Leafs nearly giving up their lead or impressed with their ability to keep it? You know what? In the spirit of Christmas, I don't think you overthink it in either direction. It's concerning. They gave up a pair there in the third period. it's good that they won. I don't think you read too much into it. I don't think it's a problem that they almost surrendered a lead when they haven't really done that all year. Like, when was the last time they blew a 2-goal lead and lost? Probably the Ducks, which was October. They're fine. They're fine. I'm not worried about it. It'd be better if they didn't do it the way that they did it, but they won. They won. And they're off for the next few days. 3rd place in the NHL. Christmas is in the air, for goodness sake. Holly and mistletoe! I'm just happy they won. One last guy I want to highlight, since we were talking about underrated players and I just saw this come across my timeline. I thought Pierre Engvall had a great game in this one, and Kevin Papetti, who's a really smart Twitter follow, had this to say. Pierre Engvall has been on for just 9 5-on-5 goals against. He had the lowest 5-on-5 goals against per 60 on the team last season. His transition skill combined with his two-way play leads to a lot of offensive zone time. His defensive impact is often underrated by a majority of the fan base. He's a weird watch visually, Pierre Engvall. It's not always the best. And then you realize, oh, nothing bad has happened while he's on the ice for a while, and only good things happen. As long as we're giving Justin Hall his flowers, that new third line of Engvall and Kampf and Kerfoot, that's not that new, it's been around for a while now, that gives team fits on a nightly basis. Like, that line is great. Even in the 2 games they lost, like, they were maybe the best line. Then you got a bottom 9 of Holmberg, Aston Reese, and whoever. Joey Anderson's been fine. It's a great bottom 6 the Leafs have put together. It's not bad. Last thing I want to talk about, I talked about it last video, Austin Matthews with the Sick Kids Hospital skates and the Sick Kids sweater that I wore at the beginning of this video. He's raising money for Sick Kids Hospital, and I encouraged you to do that last video. So, in the final rush before Christmas, there are so many donors who are willing to match donations to Sick Kids Hospital and the Sick Kids Foundation. Once again, link in the description down below. If you make a donation, however much or how little or whatever it is, get it matched. Get it doubled. Every single time I talk about Sick Kids Hospital, my mentions in the comment section and everything just get flooded with stories from people talking about the amazing work that they do at Sick Kids Hospital. And I know it firsthand. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. We got a bunch of holiday episodes of the Steve Dangle podcast coming up. And as for LFR, we'll see you next time they play, which isn't until after Christmas. So have an extremely Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, and maybe don't drive for the next couple days, you know? Just stick it out. Get some Storm chips. Get whatever you want. Storm chips. Google it.